everybody. This is Damesandtea with Jernica. Thank you for joining me for episode number 4. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Today, my co-host is...
It's your boy, Rob. Follow me on the gram at RobTopmistic because we are Rob-Tomistic about the future. Let's get it.
Okay. Y'all, let me revert back to episode number 2. When I say detaching and detoxing, I want to pat myself on the back. I worked out 31 days straight in July. Ooh, give me some kudos for that. But let's get into episode number 4. Today's episode is about parenting then and parenting now. So let's get into it. Okay, first up, I'm going to say, how you think your parenting is now?
Well, my parenting now is a bit more open emotionally, I should say, right? I feel like compared to our older generation and this upcoming generation, I feel like the big difference I would say is our care towards how our children actually feel. I feel like we kind of evolved from the whole do as I say, pretty much like, without having any response back, right? The whole fix your face and the whole not having any input or any say-so in any of the directions or even redirections. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the parenting now is much more open, giving our kids the opportunity to kind of express themselves in a way and not having to be so closed off in certain situations, in certain aspects.
My parenting was spare the rods, beat the child. Not literally, but I'm going to say I didn't let my son deal with a lot of emotions. Would I change it? No, honestly. I'm glad the parenting now has evolved, but I think I did what was best for them in that time. I do feel like my first child opposed to my second child, it was different upbringing, meaning I was more harder on my first child. Do you think I was hard? Maybe that's the question.
I wouldn't say hard. Because I didn't really have anything to kind of compare it to, right? Other than other kids. And we have to understand that even with other kids, right? They grow up differently. They're dealing with totally different things, totally different backgrounds, right? I feel like in your role, in your position, you kind of had to be a little bit more hard and tough, right? Growing up in a mainly single parent household, my mom has to, I'm her son, by the way. My mom had to play both roles. You know what I'm saying? She had to be a mom as a mom can be, and she also had to play that assertive role as well that is usually coming from, the dad in most households. You know what I'm saying? So in regards to being hard or being tough, I feel like she had to, right? She was raising 2 growing boys. You know what I'm saying? And it's only so much that a nurturing mom can do or so much redirection that a nurturing mom can give. You know what I'm saying? Until it's time to put that fire, into a lot of these redirections, you know what I'm saying? They kind of get us to be a little bit more, not responsive, but just to kind of, I don't even say respect her more, but to kind of just respect what she was saying and respect, her directions and just to understand that what she would say will kind of lead us in the best direction.
And I would say I dumbed it down a little bit when Jarrell came. I was like, okay, let me try a different approach. And the bigger part of me wish I wouldn't have tried another approach and stayed firm and stayed how I was parenting with the first one. But I always say when you have 2 kids, the first kid is more like a training stage and it preps you for the second and those who have 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you understand what I mean, like when you have one, that one is just that one, you just making sure you want to dot all your I's and cross all your T's. But then when you get to the second one, it's more, you're a little more lax. Then when you get to the third one, and I'm more than sure a lot of kids could relate to this, saying the older kid is going to always say the younger kid got away with more than they ever did. So I think I was more lax and I think I was assertive because like he said, I believe I did have to be. Being a single parent. Single, yeah. A man in the house, yeah. But still, I wanted to be that assertive one. I didn't want nobody to tell him anything. And that's just my own perspective. Maybe that wasn't the right thing. But I wanted to be the disciplinary, but wanted the call to tell somebody if they was being bad, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I get it now. You know what I'm saying? Also getting it more from the aspect of me being a parent as well. You know what I'm saying? I want to say that I'm raising my son in a single parent household. Me and the mother of his child are co-parenting. When he's with me per se, it's more so of me having to play not only the man role of it, but add a little bit of that nurturing, that love, that softness into it as well, that I believe that moms come with as well. You know what I'm saying? So when my son is with me, most of the time, it's like, I don't always want to be, you know what I'm saying? I try to add a little, not sugar, but a little, a little softening, a little caring into it. Like, I let my son know I love him, a lot. You know what I'm saying? I give my son a lot of hugs. You know what I'm saying?
So you opposed to that? Because a lot of parents or a lot of male parents feel like hugging on them and nurturing on them, that makes them soft. But I per se, I like the affection that you give to your son because they need it. So how do you feel about that aspect of it? Because it's
but I guess it builds off of how you were raised. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was raised by my mom. You know what I'm saying? So of course I'm gonna have the nurturing side of me intact. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, the field that I'm in, right? I work with kids. I teach kids how to not only manage their emotions, but how to express their emotions as well. You know what I'm saying? I have to understand that it's every emotion, all aspects of it. You know what I'm saying? Not just when they're happy, but when they're upset. You know what I'm saying? When they're sad, and so on and so forth. If my son want to cry, let him go ahead and cry. But there's also a limit to it as well. So the man in me want to say, "Hey, toughen up." You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, no tears gonna have to dry up so that you can, move on to the solution of the problem. You know what I'm saying? But with the understanding that tears are just a reaction of being sad and kind of trying to mold my 4 or 5 year old now son into a understanding that, you don't have to be sad about everything. Everything doesn't have to trigger sadness. You know what I'm saying? Some things can make you upset, like get angry sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the more so the man in me that says like, hey, straighten up, toughen up. You know what I'm saying? Like, move around, you know what I'm saying? Like, get all the tears and stuff like that. I mean, they can come occasionally, but not as often as what I believe a mom would allow, if that makes sense.
I think the parents now are different than the parents then, because even the nurturing aspect, was I nurturing? I believe to y'all might disagree, but I feel like I was nurturing, the I love yous, the hugs and all that. But when it came to being outside the toughness, I needed y'all to have that, because how society was. I didn't want to be looked at, oh, her son is scary or something like that. That's how I was. Like, I needed to feel comfortable with letting y'all go outside and run around with kids and making sure that if somebody do you something, that you defend yourself. I was the type of parent, you better hit them back. Because if I see you not hitting them back, I'm going to send you back outside until you fight back. And either you want them to beat you or me to beat you. Take a pick. And would I change it? Honestly, I wouldn't, because how society is, you have to mold your kids to understand that they have to defend themselves. And it's okay with this new modern thing where kids are in class and you deal with children. Like, it's more the aspect of go tell the teacher. Okay, it's fine to go tell the teacher, but this child is consistently picking on me. At what point I'm allowed to hit back if somebody hit me? If somebody hit me, I got to go tell the teacher. But in all aspects, other kids, to me, are taking notes about that. And like, well, I can hit Robert and he's not going to even defend himself. Right, you know what I'm saying? So,
and that's another thing I get my son to understand. You know what I'm saying? Yes, telling the teacher or reporting the issue to an adult or an authority figure is helpful. You know what I'm saying? But don't skip that step of trying to, defend or fix the problem yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because what if the teacher isn't around? What if that authority figure is not long gone, but what if it takes a while for them to come? You know what I'm saying? So that's why expressing my son like, yo, it's good. I'm glad that you're coming to me, letting me know what somebody is doing. But my question would be, how did you try to fix the problem first yourself? You know what I'm saying? If somebody's picking on you, how did you try to defend yourself? What did you tell that person? How did you confront that person? And then if that doesn't go well, if you feel like, okay, now it's stepping outside of my control, then you go ahead and tell the teacher. It shouldn't be, oh, you poked me. Oh, boom, hey, teacher, somebody's poking me. Nah, tell that person, yo, hey, chill. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? You keep doing it, you're going to make me woo-de-woo-de-woo-de-woo. And if that person keeps picking on you, keeps bothering you, then you go ahead and inform the teacher. Now, in some cases to where you will let the teacher know, the teacher or the parent or the guardian, who whatever authority figure is around, would kind of solve the problem to the best of their ability. But what happens the next day when the kid is even more mad now? You know what I'm saying? And, he's going the extra mile. You know what I'm saying? I give my son all access. Yeah, go ahead and defend yourself, because now with that state, the teacher will know, okay, for a fact that, okay, boom, he did come up to me yesterday and told me that this kid was picking on him. And he did tell me that if he keep going, that he was going to have to defend himself. And so now in that particular situation, it's like, well, I did tell him to stop. and it didn't work. I told on him, and that didn't work. So now here I am defending myself. And you see what I'm saying? Which I would hope would kind of simmer down the consequences that my child would get if he does get to the stage of defending himself. But I do feel like a lot of times the authority figure kind of should have more control over a situation, but I don't want to take those skills from my child. You know what I'm saying? Giving him the opportunity to kind of learn how to deal with a person that you can't control. You know, more so like managing. How can you manage yourself? How can you stop this person from picking on you or from messing with you? Now going back to, because I don't want to take control of my mom's whole.
This is a dialect. This is
where I get it from. I talk a lot. You know what I'm saying? But going back to the nurturing thing, I definitely feel like she was much more aggressive than she was nurturing. You know what I'm saying? Would I change her for the world? Nah. But I understand why, because like I said, she was raising a boy. Now, if I was a girl, she would probably have to be a little bit more sensitive, because she would have to match my particular energy. But the energy that me and my brother had, we were boys. We were, you know what I'm saying? We were kind of, aggressive, especially with the environment.
So I wasn't nurturing?
She was nurtured to an extent, but I feel like her biggest role.
What that extent was, though? Let's.
Yeah, okay, that extent, okay. How would you?
Okay, y'all. We're running out of time for part 1. Next week, Jeremy for part 2 of parenting then and parenting now. So we're gonna leave this week on a positive note. What is the positive note?
Positive note. Optimistic. Again, it's my name. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely encourage everybody to be optimistic or optimistic about the future. You know what I'm saying? Be the best that you can be at all times, because the benefit will be reaped or sowed. Y'all get it.
Do they get it? My positive note is spoil your grandkids. Spoil your grandkids. Love on your grandkids. Since your kids say they couldn't do it, you was meaning them, just be better to your grandkids. And that's Damesandtea with Janika, and I'm out.